listening to Moments Podcast with me, Shuang Cai. In this show, I am going to talk to artists, academics, industry practitioners, and entrepreneurs from a variety of backgrounds, each of whom is committed to imagining a better tomorrow and working to make it a reality. Some of their experiences are experimental, some are highly practical and ambitious. Most importantly, each dialogue is imaginative because we want to engage in dialogue with people from all over the world who are curious about life, to enjoy a moment together, to seize the moment, to seize eternity. Join me and these amazing people and their experience life as it's meant to be lived. So welcome to my podcast.
Thank you.
Marko, we kind of know each other for more than 1 year because one of my friends introduced you to me. We are all in theater industry. Can you do a little bit in general introduction about yourself? What have you done in your past, life experience?
I've been a professional actor for the past 35 years or so. I studied acting at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts in Belgrade. And then right after graduation, I went to Paris and I studied mime with Marcel Marceau himself at his school in Paris. And I never thought I would be doing mime.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I never thought I would become an actor. I wanted to become a computer geek. And at that time, my first computer was like Sinclair Spectrum with an incredible memory of 48 kilobytes. And I learned how to program in BASIC. But then I was always like a clown in my school and in my family and making jokes and telling jokes. And somehow that brought me to the University of Arts and to acting.
Mm-hmm.
I never regretted it. So I started my career very early. I was like 16 and a half when I was accepted at the university. And then, so I graduated when I was 20 and I started acting on television and in theater. I did some films, but mostly television and theaters when I was like 18 or 19 during my studies. And I've been doing that ever since.
For your whole life?
Yeah. But I was always curious, so I never...
Stopped learning.
Yeah, exactly, and experiencing stuff. So at some point when I came back from Paris in 1994, I started my production company. So I got involved in arts management and media management and...
Yeah.
During my studies, we went to the United States in 1990. So I finished like a arts management course there. Before that, we went to Soviet Union at that time, still in 1989, in Leningrad, St. Petersburg now. We had a students exchange program with their academy. So I experienced
quite a lot.
Yes, and that was fun. And when I was a producer, I was putting up lighting and I was pulling cables, and I was not like a star actor who didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know.
And putting makeup and all that. And I did a lot of shows for children, so that was a wonderful experience. Usually young actors here get first experience they get in children's theater, which is great.
Yeah.
I was probably one of the first ones that did stand-up comedy in Serbia. That was like in early 2000s. Now it became very popular.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to travel. I performed at the Avignon Festival in France, Edinburgh Festival, Stuttgart in Germany, and I performed well in China.
We will talk about later.
At the opening of the International Comedy Festival in Shanghai. I performed and taught in Bulgaria, in Georgia, in some interesting places, and mostly because of mime. Because it is an international language, and it is a language that everybody understands, and it probably is the first language that we spoke, and also probably the first art that we practiced.
So my understanding of mime is an art of silence.
Well, not necessarily. I like to produce voices when I do mime. That was kind of my style. It's like clownish. All the sound effects I do with my voice. I did silent mime also. What I preferred to do is when mime is, because I didn't do much mime shows. I did like 4 or 5 altogether. I taught mime quite a lot. I always prefer to do full-length mime shows, not like putting 5 to 10 minute mime pieces together to have a show at the end. No, but to have like a full-length story of hour and a half, and not to be boring, and to be understandable for everybody and amusing. And that's what I preferred. I never thought of mime as something that should be short and that should only be funny, but a storytelling language without words.
I totally agree. And you mentioned you learned like mime in France, right?
Yes, with famous Marcel Marceau. He's like the
the master of mime.
Yeah, he's like the synonym for mime. He became very famous after the Second World War.
Okay. Do you still remember any specific, like, most important lesson that he taught you? But not only, about technique, but also, the understanding of this specific art.
Well, he was telling us never let a mime speak because he won't stop.
That's a joke.
No, but it's true. That's what he was saying when he was doing interviews. That's what he was saying. One of most famous of his thoughts is that mime is making the invisible visible, because most of usually you don't use props. Usually, it's not a rule. I don't believe in rules in mime. I believe for me mime is something really the widest. We should treat it in the widest sense possible. So even. Was it? No, it was not a nutcracker. It was one of the ballets. I'll remember it. One of the ballets. It's not in the libretto. It has a title, and it doesn't say a ballet in 3 acts, but it says a pantomime in 3 acts. So mime is. I really believe that mime is just a non-verbal expression, creative non-verbal expression.
You just mentioned pantomime as well, right?
Yeah.
Any difference between mime and pantomime?
Well, I think only in Anglo-Saxon culture, only in England and the United States. In English language, they differ, mime and pantomime. Pantomimes come more from. Pantomimes are not necessarily nonverbal, and they come from biblical stories. Okay. Usually Christmas.
About something related to religion, right?
Yeah. And where you also sing and dance and speak, you use mime also, but mostly you sing and dance, and pantomimes. And they are kind of funny, not necessarily, but they go towards comedy. And that's also one branch that came out of pantomimes is musical. And what we know, we use the word pantomime in Serbian language also, and most of the world says pantomime for what is known as mime in English. It comes from two Greek words, pantos, which means everything, everything that we see all around us, the world.
So mime can
And
be
mime,
everything.
yeah, and mime, mimos, which means mimicking, imitating. So pantomime is like the imitation of life.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a famous film, like 40 years ago. So yeah, we use the word pantomima.
So for you, there's no such big difference between these two.
No. I come from a different culture, so no. We don't have, we use pantomima as the word for mime. We don't have the other word.
Yeah.
We don't say mima, we use pantomima as the word. Just like in Spanish also. Spanish is the same thing.
Nice. So is there any particular reasons that led you to, your fascination nowadays with mime as an art form for your life? And you've been, doing this for your whole life.
It was kind of easy for me. Even during my studies of acting, I was more physical in my expression. As a child, I was clumsy. Even my parents, they took me to a doctor to see if there's a problem with me.
Like ADHD, kind of word, right?
Yeah. Because we lived in Libya for like 6 years. When I was a child, my father worked there. He was an architect, and we had like 3 steps to get into our house and 3 steps to get out of it. And I was falling down, coming in or getting out. I was falling down all the time. So they took me to a doctor, and the doctor said, everything is fine with your son. He's just clumsy.
Okay.
So, and then I also during my school and everything, as I said, I was like a very
funny guy.
Yeah, I was funny. I always had more weight than I should. I always was overweight, and so I had somehow to have friends and to become part of a gang somehow, and I did that through comedy. I was funny. Yeah.
But to me, you seem very,
I'm very serious.
Yeah, serious.
Yes.
If not wearing the mime mask. But anyway, that's actor, that's artist. Yes. You cannot be, mime all the time of your life, right?
No. But I like telling jokes and making jokes and entertaining people. I was entertaining my parents and my younger sister and their friends, and I was always making noises and I grew up actually. We had a very early, like in 1976 or 77, we bought our first VHS video recorder. I think it just came out or something like that. And so I had like 20 VHS tapes with 20 different films, and I was watching them all the time. I didn't go to school. I was homeschooled for the first 2 years because there was at that time, Yugoslav school within our embassy in Libya, which was like 300 kilometers away from where we lived and where my father worked. So I was homeschooled by my mother, and I watched movies all the time. And I had only 20 movies, so I watched them over and over again, and I learned the lines.
And you can even recite every line of the movies, right?
And I grew up watching The Dirty Dozen and The Magnificent Seven, and also comedies. I grew up watching Peter Sellers, and he was a great comedian.
So you learn this kind of elements and joyness from all the great actors. And also, like as time goes by, you see nowadays Belgrade or Serbia as a whole have more close relationship with China, and you mentioned you attended Shanghai International Comedy Festival several years ago. Not far away, like last year or even 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago.
Yeah, in the past, 2 years ago, and then a year before that, I went to Shanghai. The World Mime Organization that I founded with some friends 20 years ago now, became a global partner of the International Theatre Institute.
So when you were in Shanghai those days, you
Yeah.
observed or watched a lot of Chinese modern theater, contemporary theater. How do you compare the overall development of Chinese theater in general to Western theater?
I believe that,
Tricky.
tricky. I believe that the way of thinking in theater in China, from the shows that I saw, and also from I taught workshops at the Shanghai Theater Academy and also the Central Academy of Drama in Beijing. I think that the way of thinking is too classic, and I think you should let your artists, your actors and directors experiment more,
So
even if it is no good. You learn much more from mistakes, and you have a superb culture that dates way back. Use it, and don't get. I understand Peking opera has its own
ways of doing.
yes, and codes and symbols and everything, and that's fine. It's like, and that's something that you probably should not touch. It's like a living museum, which is great, and the world wants to see it, and you can do a lot of things with it. But on the other hand, tradition is there to develop new things on top of the tradition. So I think you should experiment.
You mean classic? What do you mean classic? Like Stanislavski?
Yeah, you're influenced a lot by Russian school, and I know that, which is great. Stanislavski is basic for everything.
Yeah.
But for instance, I prefer. I mean, you have to learn Stanislavski. Especially for like film acting, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, the foundation.
Yeah, but don't get
stuck with it.
Stuck with any system. I like Grotowski. I like Polish
Theater.
physical theater, but again, don't get stuck in it. Then you have like Etienne Decroux in France, who was very different from Marcel Marceau, very technical. I mean, if you do that technique, you don't even have to go to the gym. I mean, it does wonderful things with your body. But people tend to get stuck in it, and they do it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful movement, but I don't care. I want to see the story. I need an interesting story. Theater is about storytelling. It's not about technique this and technique that. When I was teaching at the university, I told to my students, look, I'll give you some basics. I'll tell you everything that I know, but that's not enough for you, because probably half of it you don't care about, and you shouldn't care about. You should try to find your own way. You should try to experience as much as possible and learn different techniques and pick. From this, you take this. From the other one, you take something else, which is good for you, not for somebody else. I mean, Stanislavski, he didn't write that. It's his student that took notes and wrote the system. And that was good for him, good for some of his students, not all of them. And that's fine. Marcel Marceau also, it's good for him. He was really a living museum. But when his students start doing stuff that he was doing and the way that he was doing them, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to involve your own personality and your culture and your background and all your qualities and all the positive and the negative sides of your personality, and develop something for yourself, and that's fine. So that I think that you should liberate your thoughts.
Good way of saying liberate.
Yeah, but liberate the thoughts, not the. I mean, you can do Shakespeare in so many ways, but the Royal Shakespeare Company is doing it
classical way.
Well, even they experiment.
Oh yeah.
Even they experiment. I saw some of their shows when I was still in Paris. They were visiting Paris. Oh, wonderful. incredible. For instance, again, I saw Schaubine am Leninaplatz from Berlin. They were doing Amphitryon. Very classic, very thick. They, what's his name? The actor, very famous German actor. I forgot. Very static. So they came out very slowly to the stage. They stopped, and then they were talking, saying the words and everything. Very, very motionless, but you could hear the movement in the way that they were breathing and they were talking and telling words. You could see all the movement. That means that they were practicing during rehearsals with so many different movements. So mime can be good just for rehearsals. You know, use it. It's a tool. Use it anywhere you want and any way you want.
And even you can not understand the language, but you can still understand the emotion. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the story.
Very much.
Yeah. So I would say probably for us, we need to do more practice, different practices, like mime, like physical theater, like all sorts, not only or solely like classic way of practice.
The recipe is simple. Play like a child. Play with it. You learn from your teacher, you respect your teacher, you do it, you should learn how they teach you. But then play with it. Destroy what you learn, even if you're wrong.
I think this is really difficult for Chinese students sometimes.
I know. I worked with them.
Yeah.
I know. We were doing some improvisations, and I did that also in Georgia. In Georgia, they are also very, very
strict.
Very influenced by Russia, and you know, and very strict. They have a mime theater. Special a theater. They've been there for like 40 years. Specialized. They do only mime shows, and they have like a separate department at the university, mime department. So you can study acting or you can study mime, which is really interesting. They had that also till recently in Bulgaria, in Sofia. They have that in Stockholm at the Stockholm Academy, a separate department. They call it mime acting. You can, for instance, in Stockholm, the private companies that do contemporary dance, they recruit people, performers from mime acting departments, not from classical ballet, from classical dance, but from mime acting department.
Nice.
The crew technique is very close to contemporary dance.
Nice. What if you are going to direct, Waiting for Godot today, and you are from Serbia, you are from Belgrade? Yeah. What would your, director vision be?
It's like the first thing that comes to your mind, the easiest thing. When you think about something and the first thing that comes to your mind. So if you choose a German play, the first thing that comes to your mind is to find a German director, because he would know about the German play. Yeah. He would know what you talk about. Yeah. But that's just the first thing that comes to your mind. Let's not stick with just the first thing that comes to your mind. Sometimes it's good, but not all the time. And different people from different cultures reading different stories from another culture can bring completely new quality. Yeah. And none of us read the same plays the same way. So for instance, I like Waiting for Godot, really. When I was reading it, when I was a student, I saw that as a post-apocalyptic story of 4 people in a basement, waiting for the nuclear cloud after nuclear explosion to go away, and they were trying not to go mad, not to go crazy, because they are enclosed in a cellar somewhere, who knows where, and that they don't know what's happening. That's how I saw it when I was reading it. And they were inventing stories and plays just not to go, crazy. On the other hand, we in even now in Southern Europe, there's a big problem with migrations coming from people running away from wars in Africa and Western Asia, like Afghanistan and some other places, and Syria, and you had huge migrations going through Cyprus and Greece, and people running away from Libya, which is in war of different fractions, going to Italy. So you had boats filled with people, like a boat that can carry 10 people, it has 100 people. Lots of people died on that route, and we had that problems. We still have, they're coming through Balkan Peninsula and going to Western Europe. And for instance, I started writing a screenplay. I wanted to do a film about Waiting for Godot, about
migration.
Yeah, but about people that actors from different countries that are on that route, that were meeting before all of those wars in different festivals, and they knew each other, and that actually actors from Serbia and Greece were organizing migrations for their fellow actors, for people from theater from Syria and from Turkey and from Afghanistan and some other. So they were meeting, and at the end something happened, and they were all their boat turned like many boats do, and they were trying to survive, holding for that boat that was overturned, and to be able to survive the cold and everything. They were playing Godot among themselves, for instance.
Nice.
And that can be done also in theater.
Yeah.
And that's completely different, because it's a different experience. That Ireland does not have that kind of experience. They have something very, very different. So, for instance, for me, that would have been exciting and new, and I would build probably a swimming pool on stage, or something. I don't know, and that would be very different view on Waiting for Godot than
the original one.
Yeah, than the original one. So that's why I think don't do always what first comes to your mind. I know that also you have decision makers that are above you, that hold the budget. They have the money. Yeah. They're not necessarily from the theatrical world. No.
Always no.
And when you come to them and you say, I want to do an Irish play and I want to bring an Irish director, they would understand that. Their mindset would say, I understand that. So, and I understand that. I mean, and theater without money, it's not that easy to do. You can do it, not for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But again, you should sell the idea. I know this is the easiest way, probably, and the easiest way to persuade decision makers to make the decision to give you money, but it's not
that interesting, not that fun.
No, and that way you also you educate your audience. You educate your audience. So tomorrow they will start looking for Shakespeare that has been directed by an English director. But why not a Chinese director? I mean...
Oh, we are doing it.
I know you are. I know.
But in a classic way, always.
Yeah, I know. Do it in a different way. Try, experiment, play with it. I mean... Shakespeare he's a great writer, of course, but he was an actor also. But I'm sure that he also was sowing
doing
costumes
makeup by
because
himself.
at that time you had to do it. Everybody was doing everything. You had
Multi-role play. Yeah.
And we're coming back. I call that the Renaissance performer. Today we're coming back to like a 21st century Renaissance. Because today, people, young people like you, they're using different media, different platforms online, and you film yourself, you do your sound yourself, so you have to know something about it. And I wrote about it quite a lot, and I tried to influence my fellow professors in different institutions. It is our responsibility as professors to not only to give you a diploma, but to give you tools so that you can survive. And not today, with the Renaissance coming back in a way, we have to teach you also how to, just a little bit, how to film, so that the aesthetics on the internet would become different, more professional. If an amateur is filming something, it's a very different aesthetics. So, and the audience, the level of aesthetic level of the audience will go down. So I think that the university, you should, it doesn't take a long time, a 1 month course of cinematography. Of course, you will not become a professional cinematographer, but you will know how to put things in a frame, and then editing also, you will have to edit So editing is also, it's an art and a craft, It's easy. It's not so difficult. Learn a little bit about it. You will not get an Oscar for editing, but who cares? Your audience will the level of aesthetics of your audience will be coming up.
I totally agree.
Instead of going down. And it is our responsibility as professors, as schools.
Nice saying. So just now you are combining doing art, doing theater, related to, bringing some cultural background, not only about the play, but also, related to yourself as a director or as an actor, as a stage manager, who cares, right? So do you think, or do you believe art or theater can play a role in state-to-state relation nowadays?
Well, that's called soft diplomacy. I mean, that's what has been happening for centuries. Soft diplomacy.
And you are playing this role.
Yeah, the best way is through culture, through art, and through sports. So that's what people have been doing, and also a very strong influence on future generations and the way that they are thinking and their aesthetics, which is also really important, because some organizations from some countries also donate some money, but not to all the projects, but to projects that are along their aesthetics or politics or whatever. So it's a very, very, very strong influence. And except it's not, you don't get results immediately. You get results in like 10, 15, 20, 30 years, but you get results. And if you're a country that is planning in advance, like an old civilization, old country, old nation, you plan like 50, 60, 100, 200 years in advance. It's not like we are planning what we will be doing tomorrow, but serious states, they plan 200 years in advance. So then they say, okay, we will come to Serbia, we will finance certain projects, we will sign a contract or some agreement between the two states, etc., and that happens. Of course, you have kind of cultural ambassadors that go to that country, and then they show what your country is doing, what your nation is doing. That goes through theater, through cinema. Cinema is probably the easiest way because you
can just bring a SIM card.
Yeah, but a living performance will always be living performance. I'm not afraid of, people are today afraid of, like they were afraid of AI and stuff, and like they were afraid of film, and then they were afraid of television, and they were afraid of videotape recorders, and then they were afraid of CDs. But living performance will always be living for performance, and theater survived all thousands of years till now, and it will survive many, many thousands of years in the future, I'm sure, because a living word, living performance is something. There's no computer that can replace it. It's just like in cinema. Everything is digital now, and you make movies with digital cameras. And you make photos with digital cameras. But people are coming back to film.
Like the Polaroid, this kind of stuff, right?
Like a regular 35 millimeter film. They're coming back to it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're making movies. Now it's kind of an avant-garde thing, artistic, but it exists.
Like a hobby,
Not like a hobby, professional. Oh
okay.
But it became like an artistic cinema or artistic photo, but it's there. People thought that all the factories that produce film will be closed. They're not.
Okay, nice. Well, we gained some confidence.
Analog is back.
But although you said that you believe that this is art or theater is a diplomacy.
It is.
Soft power. But for us, we have a strong collaboration all around. Construction, railway building, highway building, everything, related to building stuff. But still, I think theater field or art field, in these two countries, Serbia and China, stays, some gap, stays, an unstudied, world.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, I do. Well, we are far away geographically. But with all the means today, that gap can be jumped over. So it's also a matter of
money.
Well, not necessarily money. More like decision making and having certain reserves to see how that works, who we are, how will some cultural things influence other culture, and our cultures are very, very different. But it doesn't mean that we should stick only to our traditions and not let anybody in. I think this is going to happen in the nearest future. I think we are getting out of the period where we are, just looking at each other and trying to feel each other and to see what's going to happen. I think that those things will open up very soon, and I believe that it is going to happen in media and in film first. And then
that would be much easier.
Yeah. So I'm sure that we will. I wrote a screenplay. I'm not a writer, so I just wrote a story. I hate writing. You have to be born for that. I'm not. About that could be a co-production between China and Serbia. It's happening in those COVID times, so people don't like to remember those times. So I guess I'll have to change the story. But I think that we will see co-productions between our two countries. Cinema is kind of easier.
Yeah, and can make more money in a sense, right?
Yeah, but at the same time it opens doors, and plus it gives you a wider audience. It gives you a wider audience. In theater, you can sit 400 people or 500 people, and that's it. And in cinema, you can sit probably more, and also then you sell that film to to television, and then millions and millions can see it. But why not? That's a good thing. Use it. Music also. I know that, for instance, Belgrade Philharmonic Orchestra I met them when I was in Shanghai. We were by chance. I know them, but we met in the same hotel. They were touring China.
You didn't.
I didn't know.
Okay, you didn't expect that.
No. We met in an elevator. They were surprised, and I was surprised to see them. But they were touring China, so music is a good media. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody likes to listen to music, and you don't need to be educated what kind of this art form is. You just enjoy it.
There are a few Serbian musicians that spend more time now in China than here in Serbia. And they became very popular, working with some big orchestras, and of course doing our whether jazzy improvisations or like on our traditional music.
So now, if you were the decision maker, right? Doing some art collaboration or theater collaboration between Serbia and China, right? What kind of decision you would make to let this future become, much more fun, interesting,
Yeah, well, first of all, I would start with students. I would start with students, especially film students, because that way you can make you may organize collaborations between universities, so that like you can organize a small film festival, a Serbian film festival at a university in China, and a Chinese film festival, student film festival at the university here.
Like
screenings, okay. Yeah. But then of course you bring one or two professors, you bring three or four students together, and that's not expensive. Anybody can do that. Any embassy in the world can finance that. I was a professor for like 20 years at the university, and I was teaching acting and stage movement, and I was very harsh. Oh yeah.
That's the question I would like to ask.
I was very like, you do this and you do that.
Well, you beat the student.
No, of course not.
Chinese acting teacher used to beat Chinese actors.
No.
That's really horrible.
Yeah, it is.
It's like assault.
Yeah, it is.
And some students do cry.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, crying is part of learning.
Well, it's not.
I mean, because you battle with yourself. You have an inner battle, and that's difficult. And plus, people think acting is easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. You have to be psychologically and emotionally so strong to open up in front of strangers and to give and ask nothing in return.
Yeah.
Acting is all about giving. It's not, at the end, if you receive an applause and maybe some money, that's great. But it's all about giving. You give, and you take pieces of yourself and you throw at the audience. But as I said, I was harsh to my students, and I insisted on some things so that they would do them properly, like I taught them. But at the end, I said, okay, now you do what you want. Destroy what I taught you. Improvise.
Create your own world.
Now, give me a story that is interesting and use any means that you learn here or learn elsewhere. It doesn't really matter. And experience as much as possible. Like here also, actors are taught that most of them are taught that they will be actors in our national theater, where you have people that bring you costumes, and where you have makeup artists that put makeup on your face, and your job is just to go on stage and be the best. And that's not true. I learned how to sew my costumes, because if you don't have anybody when you go on tours,
and even you have to learn to how to make do the makeup for yourself.
And something that incredible, but nobody was teaching me how to respect the audience. Because sometimes especially if you go to a very important school like Shanghai Theatre Academy or the Central Academy of Drama or Faculty of Dramatic Arts here in Serbia, that's like the top level school. You think of yourself, you're a chosen one. I was chosen, we were like 14 on my class, and we were chosen from 700 people that came to for the audition.
Yeah.
So you feel chosen.
Yeah.
And that which is great for your morale and for self-esteem. But it's very easy to make that one more step,
So,
for your ego.
yes, that's what I want to say. Too much ego sometimes.
Oh yeah. And you divide your audience into audience with less education and audience with more education. And
I am the best, less more,
Yeah.
less than me,
yeah, and I, as I said, I never wanted to be an actor, so I didn't have that.
Ego.
Yeah, of course I had the ego. Everybody has it, especially when you're in performing arts. You have to have an ego.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't do it. But I learned I respect workers and peasants, and
Staff,
yeah,
everyone.
of course. I had that experience in China. We were performing. I was performing like 10 minutes with. I did a piece about sports, funny, mimish, clownish thing with one young Chinese actor. And we had rehearsals at a big theater somewhere in Shanghai. I forgot the name of it. It was the gala opening of the comedy festival. And I bought a bottle of drink, some alcoholic drink. And I asked who is the stage manager, and controlling all the stuff,
Yeah.
technical stuff. And a guy came and said, I am. I said, okay, this is for you and your staff.
Yeah.
He said, but why? I said, well,
Respect.
yeah, why not? I
Yeah.
mean, you're here doing all of your work so that the show will be good. I'm doing all of my work so that the show will be good. So both of us are working actually for the audience. You're not working for me. We are equal. I'm on stage because I have that's my profession. You are behind stage because that's your profession, but the stage won't be there if both of us are not there. So they were very surprised. And people around told me that usually like actors don't respect the technical stuff. And I said, look, we're in the same business.
Yeah.
And I learned that here. I was touring Serbia and former Yugoslavia quite a lot in the 90s. And, if you want good lighting, you have to be good friends with the
You are
lighting
in the
technician.
same boat.
Yeah, same boat. And that's something they don't teach us in school. I was teaching that even when I was doing workshops and everywhere. I was teaching that my students respect everybody.
I think that's the key point of.
And you when you do a show, even if you do, let's take Shakespeare as something, or Chekhov or whoever. You have to do it the way that everyone will understand it. The guy with the school with like a PhD and the guy without any school who is illiterate, because we are all storytellers. We tell stories. Stories have to be interesting, and that's where experience in children's theater is really good, because if you're boring, the child will get up and go out.
Yeah.
And the adults do the same thing. They just don't go out physically.
Maybe they will just screw their phones, right?
Today, yes. But before that, they were watching you, and if you see that their eyes are not crossed, meaning that they look in one eye or the other, but parallel, that means that they are focusing somewhere over there. They are not present, they're not here.
Oh.
Nowadays, they watch phones. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Because this way of like the lighting of the phone can distract actors. Yeah.
Oh, we had that here, and some actors stopped the shows, stopped the performance, and said, "Please, either." Yeah.
During the performance.
Oh, during the performance, even the classical performance, they stopped the performance. They said, "Switch off your phone."
Oh, okay.
Because it's annoying. Plus, what do you want to do with your phone when you're watching the show?
Yeah.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
But and nowadays, for instance, there's a huge debate, and Hollywood is trying to change the way the films are being made, because they want every 10 minutes or so for characters to somehow repeat what's happening and say what's happening, because they are aware that people will be watching the movie and looking
Watching the phone.
or watching the
Okay.
phone or listening to the movie and watch the phone. And I know that screenplay writers are now battling a huge battle, fighting a huge battle in Hollywood not to do that. And Hollywood is asking for simpler and simpler stories, so that even if you watch your phone for a couple of minutes, you can just switch back to the movie.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Horrible.
Yeah, yeah. The world is changing so quickly, huh? Everywhere, industry.
I know, but a
Yeah.
good story will always be a good story.
So, are you going to teach students in the future?
Yeah, at the moment I'm not teaching at any school or university. At the moment I prefer doing workshops and
Okay.
master classes.
Like training courses?
Yeah, yeah, like 7-10 days, maybe a month
And
somewhere.
traveling all around the world?
Yes, yes. I'm not getting any younger, so yeah, and I want to use this time to experience
Different cultures?
yeah, different cultures, different people, and work with different people, and the planet became really small with all the technology and low cost flights. You can get anywhere for really not a lot of money in 24 hours. So,
Yeah.
small planet, why not see it?
Yeah, that's why I really enjoyed one collaboration that you showed me, that you had the online like reading poem co-creating with Tian Shui, who is
Yes.
from Shanghai Dramatic Art Center, right, during pandemic.
Yes.
So can you share more about the like this kind of collaboration with not famous but like top theater people back in Shanghai?
Yeah.
Any special memories?
Well, very professional. Very professional, very friendly,
Yeah.
and very open.
Yeah.
Shanghai Dramatic Arts, and my experience with them is that they're really open to different ideas,
Yeah.
and I think that is great.
And they're always like searching for new collaborations all over the world.
Yeah, yeah, and that really brings a new quality to I'm sure to theater and to theater audience, especially theater audience. I mean, when you have a city of 25 million or 30 million people, and well, and there's so much different. Nowadays they use the word content. I hate that word. But there's so much different stuff. I mean, on your phones, on television, and everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you have theater. You know, like something that is really ancient. You know.
You literally need to be there in person. You
Yeah.
need to like take the train, take the tube, take the subway,
Yeah.
take the bus.
And you have to go somewhere to get out of your house,
Yeah.
your home, and
Spend there for like 2 hours.
yeah. But each time I went there and saw some shows, and for the comedy festival, they were bringing people from Poland. They were bringing groups from Japan, especially from Japan. It's not so far away. The theaters were packed, so they're really doing a good marketing job.
Yeah.
So and that's great, and it's and part of that I believe I don't know, I believe part of their marketing is to have new things all the time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and people now know that they can expect something that they haven't seen before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is great, but that also has limits, so they should probably be careful. Oh, on the other hand, the world is small, so they can bring people from anywhere, and then and play with them and exchange. The one thing that, for instance, I did not like, that was I was surprised with it, is that in all the shows and the Chinese shows that I saw in Beijing and also in Shanghai, they were using microphones on stage.
Oh, even in black box.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were using microphones. Why do you use microphones? I mean, you have to teach there's voice technique. You have to teach your students and your actors and I spoke to some of the actors. They didn't like it either, because normally in theater there's a vast space and there's a lot of people in the audience, so naturally you will speak in a louder voice.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And the other thing, which is interesting and usable, but don't use it all the time. And the shows that I saw, even 2 or 3 shows of Peking opera that I saw, they were using LED screens instead of a real built stage design, scenography, which is interesting, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But that's, for me, I'm from the 20th century. I'm like old school. It's too much technology for me. I love technology. Use it, but use it in a story.
Yeah.
Use it as part of the story. That's just and theater. It's analog art, and it's nice to keep it analog.
I suppose it's just much more easier for them to do.
Oh, I know it is.
Yeah.
So I would start with student film festivals and student exchange, and with mime, non-verbal theater, dance, music. I mean,
the simple stuff.
Simple stuff, and that's easy. I wanted to organize. I met one of the top producers of musicals in China. And he just produced, like last year, produced a new musical, and that was made for touring, based on some Chinese, old Chinese fairy tales. And perhaps it was too expensive to bring the whole cast and everything, but to bring 2 actors, singers, or 3, and organize like a small concert with songs from that musical as a starter. I mean, if you have goodwill, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's never about the money. It's always about goodwill.
Yeah.
Money became just the first thing that you think of, and the easiest thing to say no. You say, no, we don't have the money. Yeah, but that's not true. I mean, you will find money. There's a lot of Chinese companies working now in Serbia, so
they can be our founders.
They could. I mean, they should. It's not only about building. What people don't understand, there's one simple thing that people don't understand. There would not be a successful business anywhere in the world by any person.
You mean art?
No, business.
Oh.
Any business. If the guy who started it was not creative.
Okay.
Didn't think out of the box, as they would say. And you're not creative if you're not involved in arts from very young age. So arts teaches you creativity.
True.
So if you don't have arts, and people, I mean, in the world today, people try to cut arts out of everything. It's useless. What arts? Paintings? Who cares about paintings? For paintings you need walls, so we need to build walls. No. The thing is, you would not have Nikola Tesla, Serbian scientist who invented electricity, alternate current. He invented that. He could not have invented that if he was not creative, and he wouldn't be creative if he was not involved in any kind of arts. Arts develop creativity. Arts pushes civilization forward. Not wars. You don't have inventions without arts.
I totally agree.
Leonardo da Vinci, the inventor, he was an artist first, then an inventor. So we have, it's as simple as that. So teach your children creativity, and you will have less wars, and you will have more inventions, and then we will go to first you have in your imagination. First you have to go to the moon or to Mars, and then you have to be creative to invent the starship that will take you there, and then in a generation or 2 or 3 you will maybe go there. But it starts with imagination, and you cannot develop imagination with AI. AI does not have imagination. It has lots of information but no imagination. It's kind of like chess.
Oh, chess.
Chess, yeah, the game. The chess has enormous number of combinations, but a limited number. It's limited. You can mathematically find the exact number of combinations that chess has. So it's huge, but it's limited, and imagination is unlimited. But you have to develop it, and you do that through arts.
Yeah. So first step, do something, for or between school institutions or university institutions.
In 2020, during the pandemic, Shanghai Dramatic Arts Center and the World Mime Organization, we organized an online conference and an online festival. Simple.
We hope that this Mime Festival could physically happen in the future.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
It would be nice. I know what I learned is that what we know as mime in Europe, you don't have it in China. I mean, there's very, 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 very limited number of people that
Mime people.
Yeah. Which is great, and it's normal. You can't have everything. We can't have everything.
Yeah.
We don't have Peking opera at all. We don't even know what it is. It would be nice to bring one, so that people will learn and see it firsthand, and do some workshops with our with our actors and directors, but also with our dancers and our opera singers. I think all of them should experience Peking opera, because it's a melange of those professions. So it's not so difficult.
Yeah. Well, even
now you even have a direct flight there's a direct flight from Shanghai to Belgrade.
Nowadays?
Yeah, it started this year or last year, I don't know. But there is a direct flight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, although, in center of Serbia, we have a Chinese culture center in Serbia. But definitely we can do more, rather than just, doing some exhibition of the painting, exhibition of the photo taking,
I know,
we
but
can do more about that.
I know, but for instance, exhibition of paintings, I've been doing that. I've been general manager of Belgrade Youth Center, so I know how that works. To bring a painting to another country, you have to pay insurance, and insurance is not cheap. So when you count the transportation and the insurance, it's just like bringing a living person to another country. So one painting and one person, costs are the same.
Okay.
So it's not that difficult. You just have to have goodwill and to decide, make a decision.
Yeah, and
make a plan.
Yeah, and there's so many art forms, right?
Yeah.
And we can make this happen. Maybe every year differently, right? This year maybe dancing, next year maybe music, and the year after next year maybe theater, mime, who knows? But we can try all different sorts of art forms.
Yeah.
And to make this happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not that difficult.
Okay. I think that's all for this podcast, and thanks for your contribution, Marko. Can you say your name again?
Stojanovic.
Marko Stojanovic.
Exactly.
Thank you for your contribution, and hope to see you in Shanghai. And
谢谢。
Thank you, and bye.
Bye.